you need money to invest in the marketing side. You really need that money to invest. And what I'm seeing with so many startups, you're kind of hoping that goes away. So you go back into your work or home office or wherever you're working very, very hard at something brilliant, but you're just forgetting that you've got to sell it. And selling it in marketing, selling is part of it. So please bear that in mind. When we finish this podcast, I want you to sit there and think, have I thought about any money that I'm going to try and raise or spend or invest? You need to do it. And if you don't, then you have to consider maybe other ways of doing it. And there are many other ways. What other ways could they do it? That's really putting you into. They haven't got the money. They've got a fabulous product.
Yeah.
I'm being really mean to you now asking you this question.
No.
But, you've gone through many.
I'm very familiar. Yeah, look, I started the cool company 12 years ago, Grassroots. And so a couple things. Yeah. If you have very little budget or almost no budget, I recommend a couple things. One is really focus heavily on creating great content for social media to drive a following there so that you can then put in information about your brand. And I would highly suggest a content strategy where you're putting out content that's relevant to the marketplace and people will pay attention. And then you kind of have ways that you subtly introduce your brand. So say we're a table company. We're writing blogs and posting videos about how do you find the perfect table. Yeah. And that's independent then of us. It's just content that could be helpful. And posting that on YouTube and TikTok and all over social, which takes the investment there is time more so. You have to spend a lot of time to create great content. But if you're very bootstrapped and budget, I really suggest doing it anyways, but I think that's a great avenue to drive awareness and then drive some initial customers as well.
And again, I don't want to be repetitive. You're probably scared or somebody will say, this is just too much for me. I can't do this. You need to do it. And the other way, again, going back to LinkedIn, is it's the part-time people. There's many people actually looking just for a few hours a week, but you do need to do it. If you ignore it, you're going to make it very, very hard for yourself. And if you do it and really pay respect to the marketing or selling bit, which people don't like to talk about, it's really dangerous. So,
can I add one thing to that?
Yeah, please.
Especially for early stage founders, I really suggest you refine and nail how you tell your story.
Right.
And doing that well on social media and with other people can really help sell your product. And you're saying, people are scared of the word sales, and that's often true. But the best salespeople on the planet, you don't think of them as salespeople. Right? Like you don't think of Steve Jobs as a salesman, but he was an amazing salesman. Yeah. You don't think of Elon Musk as a salesman, but he's a great salesman because you're not even thinking of them as a salesperson, right? So if you can tell a fantastic story, so Dollar Shave Club, I love that first video they put out with their founder CEO. If you can tell a great story, that can get people interested in your product. Yeah. And that is fantastic. Generally free marketing if you can put together really great content and a really great story.